Hi guys, welcome back. Today I have for you a pretty healthy meal. I have some white rice. I don't think you can see it, but there's some white rice under there. There's some steamed broccoli. And then this is Sriracha baked tofu. I got this from Trader Joe's. I have never tried this, so I will be trying it for you guys today. And then on top I have some Kikkoman teriyaki glaze. So let's dig in and see how this tastes. Pretty hungry. Alright, this first bite. Pretty good. Just your basic tofu that's seasoned spicy. The sriracha comes through just a little bit, so it's not very spicy. Let me give you guys a close-up of this. Is it gonna focus? I think that's focused. So what I did was I just heated it up in a non-stick pan real quick. I browned both sides of it. So today I have a story time for you guys. It's gonna be about I guess a paranormal experience. So when I was younger, me and my sisters, so I'm the oldest of 6 kids. I have 2 younger brothers that are underage right now. And then I have another younger brother who's like a year younger than me. And then my younger sister, she's 3 years younger. She's the one that passed away. And then another younger sister. So I'm the oldest of 6 kids. But anyways, I don't know where I was going with that. So me and my sisters, we shared a room. And one night I couldn't sleep. So just a little FYI. Ever since I was really young, I've always had a really hard time sleeping. I've dealt with insomnia most of my life. I used to sleepwalk when I was younger. I get very paranoid at night. And so we were sleeping. It was really late at night. And well, I wasn't sleeping. This is already off to a bad start. Oh my god. Okay. So my sisters and I, we shared a room at the end of the hallway. And then at the beginning of the hallway is my brother's room, and then in the middle was my parents' room, and then on the other side there was the bathroom. We stayed in a little duplex. And so one night I was having a really hard time falling asleep, just tossing and turning. And this was really late at night. I don't know what time it was. I was probably like 11 or 12 years old. Maybe I was like, I need to get my thoughts together. And I keep shaking the camera, the table. I was young. I was like elementary age. And so I'm tossing and turning, and we would always leave the hallway light on. So I'm tossing and turning, can't sleep. Everybody else is asleep. And then all of a sudden, as I'm turning to face the door, I see, like, I'm just sitting there and I'm like staring. I see this face pop out, like it's like holding on like this, and then it pops out like that, and it's just staring at me. And it's all black with red eyes. I like froze. I froze. It looked like a cat face. It had what looked like either ears or horns. I don't know, but I just stared, and it was staring at me, and then I couldn't, like, I didn't do anything, so I just covered. And then I peeked again. I covered my face with a blanket, and then I peeked again. And it was still there. So I turn around, thinking it's gonna go away. And we had bunk beds. And I start calling my sister's name. I'm like, Tiffany, like trying to wake one of my sisters up. And I'm like so scared. I'm like starting to cry. And then all of a sudden I hear like footsteps in the hallway, like as if they're walking away. And so I'm like even more scared. And still nobody's waking up. And so finally I look over and it's gone. Because I hear the footsteps, I look over. And it's gone. I don't see the face anymore. And this is really good. My sister's still not waking up. I'm starting to cry. I'm like panicking. And then all of a sudden, my parents, they come out of their room. I think it was my dad. One of them came out and was like, "What's wrong?" And I told them that I saw somebody. There was a face there. And they're like, "No, you were just seeing things." I was like, "No. There was something there, and I heard the footsteps." Oh my gosh, it's giving me chills just thinking about it. My slippers are squeaking on the floor. I wish I had my chili garlic salt. I keep shaking this table. My parents have this like this coffee table that like the top of it comes up and folds out so like you can do work and stuff. So whenever I rest my hand on the table, it like shakes. My camera's on a tripod right now, sitting on top. But anyways, so then my mom comes in, or maybe she was already there, I don't know, but my mom's like, "You can't have Pepsi anymore," because I remember I guess we had Pepsi, but I remember her saying, "You can't have Pepsi anymore because you can't sleep after it. No more soda late at night." I'm just like, "Mom, it's not because of that. Like, I really saw something." But it could be that, like, they're trying to calm me down so I wouldn't be so scared. And so she's like, it was probably your brother just messing around with you. So she goes to his room. And he's like sleeping on the floor. Just in the middle of his floor, doesn't have his blanket on or anything, so it's not like he fell asleep on the floor. He was just in the middle of his floor. So yeah, he was sleeping in the middle of his floor with no blanket or anything. And my mom's like, oh, it was just your brother. He was probably sleepwalking. Now, my brother is not known to sleepwalk, but he is known to talk in his sleep, like have full-on conversations in his sleep. It's hilarious. To this day, he still does that. So she woke him up to get him off of the floor. And she's asking him, were you messing around? Were you trying to scare your sister? And he had obviously been sleeping. But she swears that, she might not even remember, but at the time she was like, oh, it was just your brother. You've had too much sugar, too much caffeine because of the Pepsi you had with dinner. So no more soda for dinner. Yeah. So that happened. And so to this day, I'm like terrified whenever the hallway light is on. I like don't want to look in the doorway. It like freaks me out. I'm terrified of it. I get really paranoid because of stuff that's happened. I don't know if I was traumatized of something that happened when I was really young, but I've always been terrified and paranoid at night. I don't like to be awake during the hours between 3 and 4 because they say that's like the witching devil's hour. I still have some left. So there's another time when this is just me being paranoid. It actually happened in this house. So I was up in the middle of the night, couldn't sleep. And my sisters and I, we still shared a room. I had heard a noise from the backyard, and our bedroom window had a window that saw out to the backyard. So I look out the backyard, and we have 2 sheds in the back. In between the 2 sheds, there was what I thought to be a person sitting down, just like almost like drunk or intoxicated looking, just like doing this thing like that. And it looked like a person who was sitting down with his knees to his chest. Excuse me. And his arms were like, one arm was like this and then one was just like as if he was like talking to himself, you know, all intoxicated. So I walk the hallway and I go wake up my dad. I'm like, Dad, there's somebody in the backyard. And he's like, what? So he wakes up and he goes to look out our window so I could show him what he saw. He's like, no, that's not somebody sitting there. I was like, yeah, that's somebody sitting there in the backyard. Because I was thinking somebody just came in the backyard and was just like gonna fall asleep there or something, you know? We left the lights off so the guy couldn't see us. And we had had issues with people coming into our backyard. So my mom gets up and she comes to look, and my dad's like getting ready, getting his shoes on and stuff to go confront this guy. And she's looking out the window, and I'm like, you don't see it? She didn't see it at first. I was like, right in between the shed. And then she saw it, and she's like, yeah, somebody see it. I was like, yeah, that's somebody sitting there. I had convinced everybody that there was somebody in between our sheds just chilling there. And so my dad's like, okay, if you really think that's somebody there, because he's like Mr. Tough Guy, you know, if you really think that's somebody, then call the police, because I'm gonna go out there. So I call the police. And I tell them, you know, hey, there's somebody in our backyard. He's not leaving. He's just sitting down. He looks like he might be drunk. And they're like, okay, we'll send somebody out there. So my dad's out there looking around, and we're still standing at the back at my bedroom window. I had my brother convinced. Everybody except for my dad was convinced that somebody was out there. Oh my goodness. So you see my dad in the backyard, and he's just like looking around, looking out the window, like. The cops get there, and we see them with their flashlights go into the backyard. I'm not sure if my dad was in the backyard at the same time, like if they thought that my dad was the guy. But my mom went out and talked to the cops with my dad. And they like played it off like, yeah, somebody was there. Oh, no. What had happened was we kind of motioned to my dad, like right there, right in front of you. And he goes, before the cops get there, and he touches it. You guys want to know what it was? Oh my God, I still get made fun of to this day. Oh, it was a tarp, like a freaking utility tarp, just sitting there that my dad had like put. I don't know if it was covering something, but it was a little bit windy that night, so that's why one of the arms was like moving, and it seriously looked like somebody was sitting knees to their chest with their arm like this. And when we realized that, my mom went out and talked to the cops and just said, oh, they ran off. They're not there anymore. So embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. But it was real, like in my head, and what I saw, it was real. And I made everybody believe that there was somebody out there. I made them believe that what I was seeing was real, but it wasn't. That's how paranoid I get at night, guys. I have so many stories like that. I just get so paranoid. How many minutes has it been? 21 minutes. I'm almost done. Because I'm so paranoid, ever since I was young, I could not sleep with the closet door open. Even to this day, like if I'm having a hard time sleeping, like it doesn't mean that, but if the closet door is open, I will have a hard time sleeping. I can't go to sleep knowing that the closet door is open. That's how paranoid I am. And I think it might have something to do with my grandma. Because when I would go and stay at her place, I would go every weekend. She had a closet in her room, and she wouldn't want us to go in there. So she told us that she kept Elvis in her closet to keep us from going in there, and we knew that Elvis was dead. But she told us that. That could be why, because I was afraid to go in her closet. I didn't want to go in the closet. I wasn't touching the closet. Yeah. That could be why. But just on top of the fact that I'm paranoid. I even have dreams, really bad dream, of somebody in the closet just staring at me. And it happened to be I don't know if I want to say. I don't want to say, but it's somebody who should have been in my life, but made bad choices, so they're not in my life. I get that dream every once in a while, that he's just staring at me through the closet, and it's like really bad, like with bad intentions. So yeah, that's my little story. I hope you guys learned something new about me. If you guys have any paranormal stories or like paranoia, what is it? Like if you guys have any paranoia stories or paranormal stories, I have a few other paranormal stories, but they're not like super scary. They're more like spiritual stories, I guess. Anyways, I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye!